Well, I've reached that stage of desperation where I have actually borrowed my good buddy's roller starter. It's down here. The bike is strapped to it. I don't know if you've ever used one of these things, but you just can't sit the bike on top of it because the rollers will just spin and it won't turn the motor over. You need more friction. So that's why the bike is actually strapped down to the lift, putting pressure on the tire. So when I spin the starter, it will spin the tire and not just the rollers and burn spots on the tire. It has to be strapped down. I guess normally under race conditions, the racer would be sitting on the bike and holding it down with his body weight or bouncing it to get the rear wheel to spin to start the bike. That's what I assume. I've only seen these operate in movies, and Roger has used it at his house successfully. So at this point in time, I've got the battery charger on the battery overnight because yesterday when I tried to spin it, it wouldn't spin because the battery wasn't strong enough. So it's overnight. Should have a good charge on it now. The cloth on the cord is just to keep people, namely me, from walking through there and tripping. That's just a safety device. So anyway, it's sitting there. I've got the heater sitting down there blowing directly on the motor, trying to warm it up as much as possible. And I'm going to let it sit here for a couple of hours with the heater warming up the engine, and then come out and press the magic button down there on the ground and see if it will spin the motor. So that's where we are. The bucket on the bench has the old gasoline. I drained it out. And the gas tank now has about a gallon or so of nice fresh gasoline. So fresh gasoline, roller starter, strapped down, battery charged, heater going. We'll see what happens in a couple of hours. All right, the heater's been on the bike for a couple of hours. The engine is actually warm to the touch. It's kind of cool. No, it's kind of neat, kind of warm. The bike is in 4th gear. I put fresh gas in the gas tank. I have the spark plug out, and I'm going to spin the motor now just to show that the spinner will spin and see how that goes. After that, if it spins successfully, I'll put a little bit of gasoline in the cylinder, put the plug back in, and try it again, and we will see what happens. Okay, so here goes with a spin test, spark plug out. And no ignition on, just sitting here, 4th gear, spark plug out. Okay, cool. It'll spin it with the spark plug out. Now I'm gonna put some gas in it, in the cylinder, and put the plug back in and see what happens. Here we are. We've got the, I put gasoline in the cylinder, and I've got the plug in. I'm going to turn the ignition on, tickle the carburetor so that it laughs a little bit, maybe even a chuckle, and then give it a spin and see if it'll do anything at all. If it doesn't go pop, 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 pop real quick, I'm going to just cut it off and say we're done, because either we get success right away or we talk about tearing down the motor. So here we go, full roller test. Okay, good sloppy tickle. Ignition on. Don't need to kick it. All right. Oh, this is scary. I'm going to give it 0 gas, and then I'll try to turn the gas a little bit if it does anything. Shouldn't have moved. Slide the whole thing this way. I know, swing it. No, don't do that. Lift it up, move it towards the center. Okay, that's it right there. Thank you. Should
Lots of slack.
it was tight. All right. That actually scared me when it fired up. Taking a lot there. Okay. All right, finally getting a. All right, still on. Now I gotta be ready to pull the clutch, don't I? If it starts. Actually, I should be able to start it with the clutch in. I don't know. I'm just not familiar with this whole technique.
I'm gonna fire it off when it starts.
Okay, I'm gonna stop this for a minute and talk. I'm just, yeah, I gotta be able to try to get it started and pull the clutch in immediately. Yeah. All right.
Accelerate.
Let me think on that. Okay, we're videoing again. I'm gonna stand over here and try to grab the clutch as soon as it tries to start. It's not doing it. I'm done. I'm done with this. I don't like this. This is all technique and me, and I don't understand what's going on, so maybe I'll ask Richard. Don't turn it off. Maybe I'll ask Roger to come up and help me with this starter because I'm not happy. I can't do this. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to screw things up. We'll get Roger, the owner of the starter unit, to come up here and work with me, and we'll try this again. Right now, I'm done. Okay, I talked to my good buddy who owns the starter. I know what I have to do. I have to strap the bike down closer to the starter, maybe about the swing arm, so that it can't wander off to the left and will stay centered and stay tight and not spin the starter without spinning the wheel. But right now I'm very, very frustrated, and I don't like doing things that I've never done before, that I don't fully understand, even though it's really simple. You just put the bike on the rollers and press the button and the wheel spins and the bike starts. That sort of assumes the bike is capable of starting, which is still an unknown. So the guy who owns it, my good buddy Roger, you've probably seen him before. I'm going to have him come up here this afternoon and help me with this starter. We'll strap it down more securely and see if we can't spin it enough to make the bike want to start. Okay, that's where I'm going to leave it. Now, I'm actually going to go ahead and publish this just because I'm frustrated and I have to walk away from this for an hour or so and go have a cup of coffee to calm me down. So I'll go drink some caffeine to calm me down a little bit.